I know Halloween is only like 4 days away and it's a bit late to be uploading a tutorial on how to make a rather nice looking Halloween mansion, but better late than never, right? So, today, as you can see, I'm going to be showing you how to make this, which is a relatively large and a much bigger scale than what we normally do, haunted mansion. However, because of the design of this, there are loads of ways of making this just a normal house, and there's loads of cool techniques in this, so even if it's not Halloween, if you are watching this halfway through the year, it's got a lot of cool stuff in it to have a look at. So this is what we're going to be doing today. Let's get straight into it, shall we? The first thing that we're going to do is take our spruce plank, and we're going to make a front of the building with 9 across, and then 2 back, and then 9 across on either side, so that we've got kind of this upside down mustache shape. And then we're going to go 17 blocks backwards, and then link it up with the other corner at the other side with a back of 27 and 17, so it all should match up. And then we need to spend a long time slowly building all of this up, still with spruce wood, to a total of 18 blocks high, or if you would prefer a complete center, 17 blocks high. And then you want to wrap around 2 blocks of some sort of stained clay or concrete. I've chosen this nice sort of brownish color for it because it works better with a haunted palette where it's a bit darker. Then we need to make another 9x9 square all the way up 10 blocks, and then add another 2 layers of that concrete or stained clay. Down at the bottom, we're going to add in a door just to highlight where the entrance is, and we know where the front is, and it just makes things a lot easier than working with a completely blank sheet. Now, where we added our stained clay, we need to add in a very detailed lip before we do the roof itself, and we do this by using a series of upside down staircases and some slabs above it, so that it really has a protruded overhang. And you can see that by using them with a gap in between, we have this alternating square of the same stained clay all the way round. And we basically want to repeat this pattern all the way round the building itself. So it's an upside down staircase followed by 2 more, and it creates a really nice effect when it's all the way round. We connect them up at the top and the bottom with a half slab, and then finish it off with an extra overhang bit just half a block above. It's fairly easy to see what I'm doing, but it's quite hard to actually explain. But as you can see, it does look really, really nice. And this is the sort of thing that in larger scale builds, people are doing. It's a very popular technique at the moment to create these big, elaborate separations between the building and the roof itself. We also are going to do exactly the same thing on our little tower. This is kind of the feature piece of the building to give it a bit more shape rather than having a big square box. So fairly easy to do that on there as well. And now we're going to do the roof. Now with this roof, it's going to seem like we've finished it, and just as it looks like that, there's going to be another thing to add, I promise you. So what we're going to do is wrap around a grey concrete block all the way around, just one of them, and then do a layer of 2, and then another layer of 2, and then a final layer of 2, so that there's a total of 3. And you'll also notice that there's a block taken out of the corners. Now that's for later on. And if I take a step back, you can see that this is really starting to come together now. The scale of this build is slightly higher than what we're normally doing on this channel, which is cool because this is going to teach you a few new techniques as well. Do not be afraid by bigger builds. It just means that you can fit in more detail with less blocks. It's weird, but it works, trust me. On this one, we're doing something slightly different. Instead of having just 2 blocks and then the corner taken out, we've got an extra layer in the middle just to give it a bit more shape. The key here is to not make it too stubby, but also not too protruding. I'll leave it up to you and how your mind's eye kind of sees it. It does look a bit odd, and it does look like we're finished, but we're not. We've got a lot more detail to put into this roof. So let's go back to our corner where we started. on the corner that leads upwards in the slant, we're going to add some more dark oak to create a nice little transition all the way up and give it a framework. I'm doing this by adding some dark oak in those little patches where there was a block missing, and then using upside down staircases to create a diagonal effect